Hello and welcome to the best mods for Xbox PC, where we will be looking at some of the best mods to check out each and every single day, or at least that's the aim. There'll be something here for everyone, definitely worth checking out. Use the chapters where you need them. If you do get anything out of this, consider liking, subscribing. It goes a really long way. Appreciate your time. Let's get into it.
I got two pretty crazy prefab structures for your outpost. Now these things are unusual in the sense we've never covered things like this because we have a complete base in this sense. So we've got the Fortified Encampment, which you will recognize. This is an actual point of interest that you'll come across in Starfield, and now you can build it in your own outpost. Now you're limited to one per outpost, which makes sense because they are giant. I'm sure there'll be mods to sort of get around that perhaps, but this thing is rather incredible. It is huge, so you will need your outpost engineering and outpost management to do it, and not really much of an option for lifting this, so you do just want to place this on the ground. Now it does cost quite a few credits, so you're looking at 750,000 credits to purchase and build this bad boy. But with this up, you have a complete operational base that is ready to go with walls and all, and this is freaking awesome because it's quite a different looking new aspect to outpost building. I haven't seen many mods like this, so having a prefab that you can just pop down being this large and this of this scale is truly epic. Now what's pretty interesting is you can place some buildings inside this area. So for instance, I'm just going to throw down this extractor. So you do have the option to build within this structure, which is particularly nice because a lot of the time you can't have overlapping structures. Well, with this one you can, and there is plenty of little details. Now you will be familiar with a lot of this because you've probably seen this point of interest a million times, perhaps not. Heading inside, we have a completely decorated mimic of this point of interest, which looks fantastic. It has all the little bits and pieces, so not much you'll have to do to sort of get the overall look and feel of the aesthetics going. You can just plop this down and you're good to go. It does come with a few weapon cases and little bits of storage here and there. However, the space is quite limited inside, so you may want to consider creating some of your own storage and adding a few nice homely touches. And it does include a storage box, which may be unlimited. One of the other things I like is that you can place all your turrets all over this place. Now, in terms of your NPCs walking around in this place, it seems to be fine. So I don't seem to see too many issues, so it looks like it is nav mesh. There may be a few little bugs, but otherwise it seems okay. And as mentioned, you can put your turrets pretty much anywhere you'd like on this, just with a little bit of finesse. Now this fantastic mod is Outpost NPC Prefab Fortified Encampment, and this is by I Don't Like Nexus. Interesting name. Probably one of the biggest prefabs that we've seen, so really nice touch. Now we have one more to check out from I Don't Like Nexus, and believe it or not, this one's even more interesting. And this one I suggest you go into the overhead view, and keep in mind this will hit your performance, so Xbox users, just be mindful. This could definitely cause a little bit of lag, but you know, once it's all placed, it should be fine. But the idea with this one is it's going to allow us to build the deserted relay station in our own outpost, which is freaking unique and awesome. So I'm just going to get this placed down, and now we can raise it a little bit, but otherwise it's pretty much straight up like that. So it gives you a lot of flexibility, and we can just place this down, and you will be limited to one per outpost, and this time it's going to cost 2 million credits. So you will need a bit of the good stuff, a few credits to get these down. But once you've plopped them down, you get a fully functional point of interest at your own base that comes completely decorated with all the bits and bobs that you expect is what you've come to see and know in this point of interest. So the level of detail is very well established and all there ready for you to go. So overall, it's just a really impressive two pre-builds. Now this one is called the Outpost NPC Prefab Deserted Relay Station. And I did forget to mention that these two bases will produce power as well. The Deserted Relay will produce 150 power, and I believe the military base offers 200 power. So they will actually produce power, so you won't need to worry about building a lot of other stuff. They're just going to be good to go from the get-go. The lights and all will be on. Now do keep in mind the mod author does note these are experimental, so just be cautious with this. Make sure if you are removing these mods that you go and delete these objects before removing these mods. That goes with any building mods we ever cover. Make sure you delete the outpost or delete the structures and everything related to the mod that you're removing. Otherwise you can have a lot of problems. But with all that said, we got two awesome prefabs. Let's keep moving. Here we have a mod called Astra Vending Machine. This is a nice little way of being able to obtain Astra easily, but without making it completely completely broken. Just like your typical vending machine, you can exchange 10,000 credits for one Astra, and you can do that as many times as you have the money to support. But this was a nice little change, allowing easy access to Astra while still having to pay quite a nice amount of credits. You'll find the vending machine located in Aquila City at the Tracker Alliance HQ, downstairs, across from the bar. You can't miss it. Now this one is done by Neil's friends, and this is the Astra vending machine. Nice little touch here. Let's keep moving. Heading down into the lodge, straight for where the spacesuit is in the sort of back area, we have a weapon pack, and this is the OmegaTech N7 weapon pack, offering 7 potent weapons from his collection. This is a nice all-in-one. They come with an absurd amount of damage in some cases and excellent perks, and it covers a great range of different weapons and giving a lot of them an insane tune-up. So this is a really nice mod if you like the aesthetics of the in-game weapons, as well as getting some insanely potent damage. So for instance, here we have 3000, 3100, which in practice just drop every single NPC. But I do really enjoy these sort of mods with some really high impact weapons, just making no enemy bullet sponges. And if you increase the difficulty with some of the other difficulty mods, this is quite a nice combination. So the OmegaTech weapons in this particular weapons pack offer a good range of all the different variations you'd want, from assault rifle, pistols, and the sniper rifle, which is quite a cool look. I like the combo of a few different weapons sort of meshed into one, which is quite a nice change, having 5 rounds for this particular sniper rifle and doing a ton of damage. So it's a good overall weapon to use, and I think you'll have a bit of fun with these. It's nice having some really overpowered fun weapons to use. And this is the OmegaTech N7 weapon pack. This one is done by Zeus Furymaker Omega, I think is how you pronounce it. Could have murdered that, but excellent mod. Let's keep moving. This next mod edges us a little bit closer to being able to get almost a retractable elevator to lower our vehicle down. Now this is just a hab at the moment, but I see the potential down the track for us to be able to get this working in a much more realistic sense. Now this first crack at it is brilliant. This is the Trident Luxury Workshop and Rev 8 Hangar. And this fantastic piece of work is done by Grooves Games, which adds this amazing hab. Now this hab has a ton of stuff. It's just not for show, not all of it, but you can see how there's the potential to be able to lower this from your ship, which would be just unreal. Now, as well as having this meticulously decorated to the nth degree with lots of awesome pictures, little models, definitely giving you the feeling of proper Rev 8 hangar. It does come with a few neat little functionality as well. For starters, we have all the different workbenches you would want well fit in to the surroundings. So if we jumping over to the other side, you can see research station, spacesuit workbench. So it has all the different workbenches. The other thing it has is these cool little buttons you can press. You know, don't press the red button, but in this case, we're going to be pressing it. And once you press it, it lifts this up to reveal some extra tools and stuff, just in case you need to do some repairs, if only. But it's just a nice little touch there. Now, at the back here, we do have this console where it seems like the approach here will be hopefully to have a button to lower this down. However, unfortunately, as it stands right now, we do not have the functionality to lower this bad boy from your ship. That would be kind of hectic, and I look forward to that possibility if such thing is possible. Now, when it comes to adding this superb new hab to your ship, it is a 2x2, and from my testing, I don't know if you can necessarily put this on your level 1, if that makes sense. So for instance, if you do put the Trident workshop hangar on your level 1, you will trigger the error, or modules must be above a landing bay. I think the reason for that is just so it's realistic, and if the hangar does ever start working, you'll have that space for it to drop down. And when it comes to connections, I think you can connect it to either of the front connections. We're just going to test that now. Okay, so there is only one connection point for this awesome hab, and it is the connection on the left. There's something good to note, but a fantastic mod, and hopefully I haven't missed anything and that it is currently accurate that we cannot lower this yet. But hopefully in the future we can. Really nice to see these sort of mods adding a lot of realism to the whole new vehicle and Rev 8 system. Hopefully we can get some bigger habs to support some bigger vehicles or different vehicles. Still very early days, but let's keep moving. So we've got a nice little game tweak mod, and this one's called Ultimate Weapon and Armor Effects Overhaul by Bad Clams 83. This mod offers a diverse change to all the effects and stats to your perks on your weapons and your armor. For instance, it's going to increase damage and effectiveness of many of these perks across the armor and weapons. Many of the effects that involve damage, resistance, or or other combat related aspects have now been significantly boosted. For example, you should be able to see a comparison going over the screen, and if we take note of Furious, which by default does more damage each consecutive hit, well, with this mod, Furious will now do 40% more damage on the 5th consecutive shot and 50 more damage on the 6th consecutive shot, making it much more potent and rewarding you a lot more for landing those perfect shots one after the other. So that applies to your weapons and your armor. A lot of these perks are going to be heavily boosted or much more balanced out. So for instance, the utility will be improved. So several effects now provide greater utility, such as reduced oxygen consumption, increased carry capacity, and enhanced auto healing. For instance, repulsing now, instead of a 25% chance to disarm, is a 50% chance to disarm. So some really nice changes to the game mechanics by some tweaking of the perks. This mod has been done by someone who really enjoys Starfield and has done a lot of testing on this, so it's nice to see a cool and much more vibrant change to a lot of the different perks. The cool thing is all the perk descriptions have been updated accordingly, and in some cases they've been renamed or repurposed. So for instance, we have Space Ranger here. Previously that would have been Space Adept, and it is now much more powerful and more relevant towards the game. So some really cool changes here, something to check out and give it a try, see what you think of the different perk rebalancing across the armor and weapons. Fantastic mod, let's keep moving. We have another fantastic building mod called Scrappy Structures from Mills Builds, which adds a ton of new variety to your builder, including these giant trees, which are pretty awesome. It includes 11 different types of trees. We'll just quickly flick through them. Some of them are these nice little plants. We get 7 of these custom sleep crates that's just put together. They're phenomenal. A little pre-built base pretty much if you wanted to have something small just to pop up. And they come in just a few different varieties, shapes, and sizes. It also comes with these 6 cool shacks, which almost look like some Aquila kind of houses, but there's quite a variety of them, so I'll just plop some of them down so you can see it pretty much exactly like you'd imagine. Some little shacks that you sort of see around. They look almost custom to me, but there might be some already existing like this in Starfield. However, these are awesome additions. In some cases they might look like this, but if you go to build it, if you click to build, it will pop up and look normal, and then you can rotate it on its spot. I particularly like this shack number 5. Has a nice little look and feel to it. Even has some interior. In the shack section you also get this complete house, which is huge. So you will need somewhere quite nice to place this down that's not going to cause too many problems. So somewhere nice and flat, somewhere like over here is going to be perfect. And throw that down and look at this. It's quite nice. You got a little bit of an option to lift it just a bit. Then we can jump into here and it looks fantastic. For a little pop-up, this is a complete home. It's almost like a hab, but just looks way better. Really nicely done here. Now the other fantastic thing this mod includes is a bunch of custom workbenches. We've got the weapon workbench, we got the cooking station, which is a grill, we got the research center that looks awesome, we got the spacesuit workbench, the industrial workbench, the medical workbench, then we got the weapon workbench with no display, and then we have and finally just the weapon workbench. So some really nice options to customize your workbench there. Now it also comes with a ton of extra stuff, so we've just going to flick through some of these additional little bits and pieces that come with the mod, but these are fantastic. You've got some signs that you can put up. Got the Crimson Fleet sign, that's pretty mad. And then you got a bunch of like sort of miscellaneous bits and pieces to add. You got the harvester, that's sweet. So heaps of stuff to check out there. And you've got these little tents in different colors and some little shelters. So some nice little touches there as well. Also includes some cool fence where you could kind of try build a perimeter around. Obviously we don't have snapping in Starfield, which is unfortunate, but you can get pretty good close with these. They're pretty nice. The overlapping rules work out to be quite reasonable. So there you have it. Scrappy Structures by Mill Builds. And this is an incredible, nice little decoration mod, as long as plenty of other shacks and buildings. Particularly love the house and how that looks. So the mod in total currently adds over 70 new items, and you got to check out that tree, almost kind of like an avatar tree. But fantastic mod. Let's keep moving. This next mod is truly incredible. I really enjoyed this one. This one is Star Wars Droids. This mod adds a ton of droids into the human spawn list within all of Starfield. We're talking so many different droids, from protocol droids to the 21B medical droid. And when you pair this with the alien mod, you truly get a unique experience, definitely edging closer to what it would feel like to be in a Star Wars game or just a cool sci-fi game. This is such a little epic mod. It adds about 11 different unique robots from Star Wars universe, and I highly recommending pairing this with the Star Wars Alien mod. You will need the patch. So there is another mod called Star Wars Aliens and Droid Patch, and this will be the mod that adds them into the actual player's spawn list or the NPC spawn list. So definitely recommend getting that together, because when you combine the aliens and the robots, droids, it just looks fantastic. Now, another cool thing that comes with this mod is the ability to craft these outfits and wear them yourself. So if you do like these droids and want to wear them as a costume or an outfit, you'll be able to craft them at your workbench as well, which is a pretty neat touch. Do keep in mind, I have no idea why this little guy has spawned in here. He's just chilling, walking around. Maybe it's a part of the aliens mod. There are a couple things to note. So this mod, mods that change the robot's NPC or armor records will not be compatible, and mods that change Vasco stats and behavior will likely still be compatible, which is a good sign. However, do note that the Astromech Minibot mod is not compatible, but was the inspiration for this. So some cool future plans for this one is walking animations, so they no longer walk like vanilla robots. Going to try fix some of the hand rigs and the unfinished droids. So this is huge. Keep an eye on this one. And this amazing mod is a Star Wars droid, and this one is by the Radical Clown Friends. Incredible mod. And just to show you how I've loaded these in to get it working. So I don't know if this is a hard, fast rule, but I've got the Star Wars droid, Star Wars alien, and then the Star Wars alien and droids patch. So this is a mod I was talking about, which will allow the droids to spawn in the crowds. Highly recommend that these all go together. But such a nice addition like this really does spice up your experience within all the different systems. So give it a try. Let's keep moving. I'm stoked to introduce the very first paid mod from the legendary Zone 79, who has created Starfield Spacer Overhaul. Now, if you're not familiar with Zone, he does some of the best work in Starfield in terms of uniforms. In uniforms, I mean armor, clothing, you name it. And with the release of his first paid mod, we can finally show this legend some support, because his work is impeccable. And his first paid mod is a replacer. It overhauls all the spaces armor to these incredible, detailed, new looking, absolutely glorious, very well themed, and they just look incredibly outside the box. I mean, look at the little cat. You gotta love this. I don't know why, but that cat like that reminds me of something from Conker's Bad Fur Day. So you get these incredibly new detailed armor sets as well that you can go along and collect in the real world. These items will be able to be looted off the various NPCs that wear them. So basically all the spaces in the game will look like this. Now note that it doesn't actually replace the original spacer armor. You'll still be able to find that and grab that within the world, but you'll also be able to get these crazy looking mechanical, futuristic, ravaged NPC armor suits. Really remarkable. Some of the best work we've seen in terms of paid mods. And I'm looking forward to seeing many, many more of Zone's work being paid, because he's just worked so damn hard at these, and these things are incredible. I mean, check these out. For a mod, they're just hard to beat. The level of detail and the way they're all put together and themed, it's just magic. I think the mod is quite well priced too. It is 500 credits, and you get a ton. You get one pair of spacesuit goggles, 2 beer apparel for backpacks, 8 variations of spacesuits, 12 variations of backpack, 16 variations of helmet. So you get so much, and it's hard to beat. I don't think we've seen too much more that's better than this, other than other work from Zone probably. But check this out. How gnarly is that? It would be kind of crazy if these arms would also work or hold guns or something. It'd be crazy cool. But really appreciate his work, and it's really nice to be able to finally cover a piece of work Zone's done that is paid for. He definitely deserves it. Great thing about this mod is that there is so many variations between all the mix and matching of the armors. It's really nice because it does breathe a whole new life into the experiences of hunting down spaces. And you couple this with the alien mod and you get something truly horrific. It's just awesome. So all you need to do is download this mod, go hunting, and you'll be able to collect these armors yourself. They'll come in all the various different varieties, all the way up to legendary, having perks. So here we go. So I've just collected one of the helmets. So we'll just go kill a few more of these guys and see what else we can pick up. So it's going to be random, so you're going to have to work for it just like you would in the real game. So I really like that aspect to it. But how incredible is this one? The run or die. It's just so unique and awesome. It kind of reminds you of some Warhammer. I'm going to take this guy out and hopefully he will drop something very saucy, spicy. No, okay. But let's have a look. I just wanted to give you an example of being able to pick up the various items. So this is pretty magical. Here are some examples of some of the suits that I've just picked up from looting these guys. Armored plated spaces pack with awesome perks. I mean, this is incredible. You're going to get so much value out of this. So I highly recommend checking this mod out. Some of the best work you'll find, and that's the Starfield Spacer Overhaul by the legend Zone 79. Awesome to see it. Can't wait for more of them. Let's keep moving.
Thank you very much for watching. If you get anything out of this, consider liking, subscribing, commenting. Let me know what you think about some of these mods. You can let me know what mods you'd like me to cover, or if there's anything on your mind, just drop it in the comment. Thanks again, and peace.